Today we'll be assembling a model that is called a walking vehicle. It demonstrates one of the methods of moving on a solid surface. Instead of wheels, this model has legs. These legs help the car to move across uneven surfaces with ease. The main part of this vehicle is the box, which is essentially a gearbox or a speed reducer. The motor rotates very fast. We need to reduce its speed so the legs of the vehicle move much slower than the fast-spinning motor. Here we use the 3-step speed reducer. First step is from the motor to this large pulley. Second step is from this small pulley to this one. And the third one is from this small pulley to this large one. Here you can see the parts for our car. The box, the legs, this is the top panel where the battery is secured, the parts for the large pulleys, the electric motor, the axles and the small pulleys. We will start the assembly by making the box. It has 2 parts, both have matching dots. They will be facing each other when you begin putting the box together. This will allow the holes on both parts to align with each other. But first we will insert the motor. Start inserting it in the thicker plate on the side where the dot is. After the motor is inserted, we will take the 4 short dowels and insert them into the small openings. They will be used in connecting the 2 sides of our box. In these pieces, there are 2 different sized holes. There are 5 larger holes that are meant for the axles and 4 smaller holes for the connecting dowels. Now we'll place the spacers. And making sure that the dots match, place the thinner panel over the connecting dowels. Pull the wires out. Next, put a bead on the tip of each dowel. You can use a small hammer and a rigid tube to assist with the insertion. Now the box is ready. Next we will place the pulley with the smaller opening onto the shaft of our motor. There are 2 types of pulleys in this kit, the ones with the larger holes and the pulley with the smaller hole. It is the one we're going to put on the shaft. Now we will start to assemble our speed reducer mechanism by making these large pulleys. Here is how they made. We will take 2 outer and 1 middle discs. We will also need the small simple device to help us put the parts of the pulley together. First, place the outer disc on the pin. Then remove the adhesive tape backing from the middle disc and place it over the first one. Press firmly. Again, remove the adhesive backing on the top and place the second outer disc over. Press firmly and carefully remove it from the pin. Repeat the same with the other 6 pulleys. Our pulleys are now ready. Now we can begin to assemble the first gear. first gear is going to be from the motor drive pulley to this large pulley. We will take one axle and we will begin by placing the small pulley on the tip of the axle. Next, we'll place a bead. Use the tube to help push it down. After that goes the large pulley. Carefully slide it down. Check that it is straight. On this side we have to put one more bead. Again, use the tube to push it down. Now we are ready to insert it into our box. Insert it into the hole just above the drive pulley. We need to make sure that these pulleys coincide with each other, because later on they will be connected by an elastic. On the other side of this axle, first we'll need to put 3 beads. This way we'll ensure that the 2 pulleys on the opposite sides of the box are spaced equally from the box's walls. The first bead cannot touch the box. There has to be a gap to allow free rotation. Place 2 more beads here. Now we'll place the small pulley. The movement from these pulleys will be transferred here, let's say here to the front and here to the back. Now we'll make the second gear, from here to this large pulley. We'll take one more axle and begin the assembly by placing the bead first, and then the large pulley. After that, place the small pulley. And next, 2 more beads. Insert the axle into the opening on the thinner side of the box. Turn the box around and finish this gear by placing the 2 beads. Again, leaving the gap. As mentioned before, the 2 beads will allow for proper spacing, so the 2 pulleys on opposite sides will be of equal distance from the box's walls. Now place the small pulley. Next, we'll begin making the same gear, but for the legs on this side. We will take the axle. It is going to be this side. Place the bead, then the large pulley, carefully slide it down. Check if it's straight. Small pulley goes on this side. And finish with 2 more beads. Now insert this axle in the opening on the same side of the box where the drive pulley is located. Again, check that the 2 pulleys coincide with each other. Later on, they will be connected with an elastic. Finish this gear on the other side by placing 2 beads first. Remember to leave a gap. Now place the small pulley. Again, this way we evenly space the 2 pulleys on both sides of the box. Next we'll be making the axles where later we'll be attaching the legs. Insert the axle into the box. Make sure it is centered. First we need to mark the spot for the bead. Place the bead on that mark. Place the second bead and then the large pulley. Finish it off with the last bead. Insert the axle into the box. Again, make sure that the pulleys coincide. Turn the box around and again place 2 beads. Make sure that the axle rotates freely. Place the large pulley. These 2 pulleys also have to align. Place 1 more bead. Move on to the other side. Repeat the same steps. Insert the axle. Make sure it is centered. Mark the spot for the bead. Place 2 beads on the marked spot and then the large pulley. Finish this side with one more bead. Now insert this axle into the box. Turn the box around and place 2 more beads here. Make sure to leave a gap. And the large pulley goes here. Place one last bead. It is time to put an elastic band on the first gear. It is going to connect this large pulley with the drive pulley of the motor. Now we'll check the rotation by touching the exposed tips of the 2 wires to the battery contacts. We will continue placing elastic bands connecting the pulleys. From the small pulley behind to this large pulley. Same on the other side. Small pulley on top to the large pulley on the bottom. Now place the elastics from the second to the third gear. Place the elastic on the small pulley behind and stretch it to the large pulley on the bottom. And do the same on this side, small pulley on top to the large pulley on the bottom. One more elastic will go here. From this small pulley to this large one. Turn the box around and place one last elastic from this small pulley to this large one. We can check the mechanism again. Now it's time to attach the legs. First, place the bead, then the leg, secure it with another bead. Next one. The bead, the leg, and one more bead. We'll repeat the same for the other 2 legs. Now we can test it again. It is time to attach the top panel. Make the first hole and secure it with a clip. Repeat the same on the opposite side. Make a hole and place a clip. Next, we can attach the battery. Right here in the center. Remove the adhesive backing and glue it onto the panel. Now we can connect the wires. In this case, it is not important which wire connects to which contact. Remove the bead, place the tip of the wire between the legs, wrap it around and place the bead back on. To prevent the bead from coming off, slightly bend the longer leg. Repeat the same for the second contact. Make sure only the exposed tips of the wires are touching the contacts. Also, make sure that the battery is turned off. That's it, the walking vehicle is ready. Now we can test it.